Hello and welcome to episode number 8 of the Gaming Frontier podcast. My name is Guillermo Vizcaíno and I will be your host for today. I'm joined by my very, very good friend, longtime pal here, Adolfo Aguirre.
Hello, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Ready for a very packed show as every week.
As always, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can keep it under an hour this time. If not, whatever. But yeah,
Whatever.
the podcast, this podcast is part of Gaming Frontier's YouTube channel, where you can find gaming-related content throughout the week. The Gaming Frontier podcast is a weekly show where the two of us discuss the latest news in the gaming industry, our thoughts, predictions, and in short, everything you can come to expect from a YouTube gaming channel. And yeah, as you said, we have a very, very packed show today. Let's start. But before we start, just a quick reminder and disclaimer again. Not native English speakers. We're
right.
If you hear some things that are off, some weird words and accents, you're right. We are not native English speakers. We are Mexican, and our first tongue, our mother tongue, is not English. But we're trying to get better at it, and hopefully you already can see some results. Maybe, hopefully, in terms of accents.
At least we're getting some comments. So, at least people are understanding
Yeah, that's
what
pivotal.
we're trying to say. So, I think that's...
in communication, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think so. But yeah, as Guillermo said, we're not native English speakers. So, keep that in mind and be patient with us.
Yes. And that's it for disclaimers. Let's start. And today's show, we're going to have a couple discussions that I think are a little important. We're going to talk about VR, which is the news of the week.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with something else. We're going to start with our thoughts and personal opinions on physical ownership of media, be it games, be it movies, be it whatever. This is a gaming show, so we're going to focus it on games. But yeah, we're going to give you our thoughts. And I think that it's going to be an interesting talk because we might be on different sides of the street in this topic. So what are your thoughts, Adolfo, on personal, on the ownership of discs, of game discs?
I wouldn't say that we are really on different sides. More like we prefer different things, right? Because I don't think that the physical versus digital thing really should be and is a debate,
right?
I think this is more like a thing that just a preference thing, right? And on this subject, you can call me like old school or old fashioned, whatever, but I'm way more of a physical disc guy in any media, like absolutely any media. That's movies, that's music. I don't buy things on iTunes, for instance.
Right.
I get a physical disc, and not that I listen actually to the physical disc on a player. I just like the collection, right? Yeah. I just like the physical collection, and it's kind of the same for me in games. So I'm the kind of guy that likes to have like a collection, like a bookcase with a freaking big collection of games. You've seen mine, and it's like a piece in a bucket when compared to other people on YouTube, right? But
it's a collection.
It's still a fairly sizable collection. I own like around 200 games, like 200 physical discs, and not including cartridges.
Right.
Not including like all the N64 and Super NES cartridges. So I do own some of those as well. So I like that kind of stuff. Digital is more convenient, absolutely, because you don't have to get up. You can be more lazy, right? It's more convenient in many senses, and I totally get that. But it's just that I do prefer getting my having my case with my disc and just looking at the I was about to say the booklet, but most of them don't even include a booklet, save for a few special cases. Like, for instance, The Witcher 3 had a very, very cool physical edition of the game because it had a booklet, it had a letter, it had a map, a poster map, it had some stickers, and it had a music CD inside. So Yeah, there are a few games.
That's the special edition, right? That's,
no, the
that's
regular edition.
one?
Yeah, the regular
Really?
one.
Huh,
Yeah,
cool.
so it had like a few. There are a few games
Extras
that
there.
do include some of this cool swag, right? So, and I love
Metal Gear. Metal Gear gives you the map of
the Day One edition.
The Day One
Day
edition.
One edition,
Yeah.
yeah. And I love when games do that. But even when they do not, I'm still on a physical. I still prefer the physical thing, just because I mean I like the collection, and I'm not anti-digital, although I do, if I have the option of a game to get it on physical or digital, I always go physical,
Right.
like always 100% of the time. And I don't know, it may be kind of I mean, it may not make any sense, but I personally feel like when I own a game digitally, I feel like I do not own it really. And I mean, yeah, you can say the same. You can now say the same thing for physical games, right? Because a lot of these games are tied to a service, and I'm not gonna pretend that I know the intricacies of this situation and the legal stuff, because I don't. I mean, I've not read the term
Right, yeah.
the terms and conditions for games. Like I don't think anyone that is watching the show has,
Yeah.
right? But one part of me finds a bit depressing that there's a possibility that my PS4 disc will not work in 20 years because updates, because I mean this kind of stuff, right? And I'm the kind of guy that does play every once in a while old games. Like even now, I do pop in Super Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie or Perfect Dark on my Nintendo 64,
Right.
and I'm the kind of guy that does that, and it kind of worries me, the trend, but at the same time, like, yeah, I like my physical collections, and yeah, I'm sticking with those, and for the time being, at least, I don't think they're going anywhere in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the industry will see a transition from the physical to digital eventually, but
Right.
I don't think that's coming in 5 years, even in 10 years. I think that there's a very big market for physical media still.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, people have been talking that, oh my god, but digital games are growing a lot, and yeah, but so do physical things. So the physical copies are being sold more and more and more, right? So granted, not at the level that digital is growing, but they are still growing. I mean, it's not that digital is going upwards and physical is going downward. Both are going upwards. Just that one of those is going is having a higher growth, right? So yeah, I mean, I think this is a matter of what do you like, right? And
True. Yeah.
and I like a lot that the industry has options for both types of consumers.
Yeah.
And I think that's a matter of letting the player decide what.
Yeah. You
he
pretty
or
much
she-
just said it everything. My point included. Yeah. Exactly. It's a very very personal opinion based subject, right? And if you are like, for instance, the way you're more of a collector. You're more of a guy that likes to see. Even if you're not playing the games, you like to see them there sitting on a special bookcase or a special place, because they are in a way mementos, right? To your past, to your likes, to your so things that made and build it up your character and your gaming history, if you want. I'm different in the sense that I don't really keep mementos of games. Not every games. I mean, I usually have games like The Legend of Zelda, which I keep around because they mean a lot to me. Games like, I don't know, Metroid Prime. I also have those there because, again, they shaped my childhood in so many ways that, yeah, they deserve to stay and stick around. But, you know, on general terms, with more different games, I do prefer and I do see both points. I if I'm on the fence, right, if a game comes out and it's both digital and physical, I would probably, if in terms of convenience is not affected, that aspect, I would probably lean towards the physical disc, definitely. But if I'm, say, at my house, right, and I have the choice of going somewhere, going to, I don't know, Walmart, and buying the physical copy of this, or just sitting on my couch and buying it through my console, I might as well lean towards buying it on the console. That's what I did with The Witcher 3. I have The Witcher 3 digital, and as you said, it opens the door to many things that I didn't consider before. Things like, for instance, just the fact of the act of, going and putting a disc, right? You need to stand up, go to your whatever you have your disc, open the box, take it out, and switch it.
You're so lazy.
I know, and I know it's a very, very stupid and nonsensical point, but it's something that you have to do repeatedly if you're changing games, right?
Exactly,
yeah. And I never thought I would say this, but just the fact of sitting there and yelling to your console. Xbox, go to whatever. Yeah, because I go the full lazy route here and I talk to my Kinect, which is the only thing it does now.
Xbox, turn it off.
No, don't. No. Sorry, guys. If you're watching us on your Xbox, if you have your Xbox on and you just yell Xbox, go to FIFA, Xbox, go to Witcher, Xbox, go to where? I'm sorry, guys. Again, you're gonna switch over to the to your next game, and you delete. You completely neglect that acting part of it, right? You don't have to stand up. You don't have to do anything else, and that brings a convenience that you didn't have before, and that really, in a way, affects the way you game and affects your habits when as a gamer, and that's a very cool thing. And I never thought it would be an actual point. I mean, obviously, it's not the only point on favor or on pro of digital distribution, but it's one of the many points. And that makes it very cool. Not that I would change my entire ideology when it comes to gaming because of this, but it's a start. And as you said, digital distribution has been growing a lot in the last couple of years compared to what we had on the previous generation. PC is an entirely different thing, especially with the arrival of Steam and how it changed the landscape for digital distribution on the PC side of things. Yeah. But for consoles, I think mid-generation of the last generation forward, it's been taking a very, very strong position in the market. And
even since the beginning with Xbox Live Arcade.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, in terms of, because those were arcade games, those were more, a lot of indie titles, not many. I think that I can remember the first big game that I saw coming to the digital landscape was, for me at least, was Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect.
2007, right?
2007, yeah. Wow. I'm not sure if it came on 2007 to the, as a digital
I think version. It came like a year later to the marketplace.
Sometime later, sure, yeah. Sometime later. And when it came, I bought it, and that was my very first game that I on my console that I said, okay, I can do this, and there's a convenience to it. Yeah. That brings me to the second point of the discussion, which is, what do you think of digital distribution moving forward? You already touched a little bit on it, saying that you don't see it coming right on the near future, right? Not on 5 years, not on 10 years, but what do you think of it moving forward in 2 generations of games and 2 console generations in the future?
I mean, you definitely touch base with digital distribution. Yeah, it's way more convenient in many senses for people like us that have good internet connection, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because there are so many people whose internet just sucks, or is slow or unreliable, and for people like those, man, like it's tough to move entirely to a digital distribution of games, especially now that games are like 50 gigs, right?
Yeah, huge games.
And many and even some people. I mean, you can argue, just leave your console downloaded for like a week or so, but keep in mind that some people have a limited access to internet. Like they only have like 10 gigs per month or something like that, and that's it.
Right.
So I mean, downloading a 50 gigs
you're
game
depleting your entire,
that's not an option, right? So it's definitely more convenient for people like us. Like definitely. Especially going out to stores is kind of a pain in the ass for many of us. That's why most of the time I kind of moved from going to stores to buy games to buying them on Amazon.
Right.
Just sitting on my couch or my chair or my bed and just then scrolling through Amazon's catalog and buying games or at
Have
work.
the games come to you.
Yeah. or at work. I do that frequently. I never said that. If any of my coworkers is watching this, hello.
And you guys do it too. So.
Yeah, you guys do that too. Yeah, so yeah, there's I found some of that convenience is that
We
a
love
word?
you guys.
In physical distribution to Amazon, right? And yeah, I mean, sometimes for me, also going out to store and buying games is kind of an experience when I'm out. I mean, when I'm I don't know, I'm just hanging out with my girlfriend or whatever, and just going to random stores and just passing time, right? Yeah, it's something that we like to do, and yeah, let's go to a game store and see what's in there, right? But digital distribution moving forward, I think it's gaining strength. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know if it will replace physical distribution anytime soon. I don't think it will be soon. And I'm not entirely sure that it will ever do. I mean, and when I say ever, I mean 20 years, right?
Right.
Not ever in
ever,
the
right.
entirety of human history, because maybe most likely it will. But I don't think it will be doing that soon, because many people like physical copies, and there are a lot more people than you may think. And many people in countries that do not have good internet access just don't want to sit through that pain, right, of downloading a game and waiting ages for it to download, right? And yeah, I mean, I'm me personally, I'm sticking with physical games.
With physical, okay.
But I'm positive on digital. I hate the debate and people defending one side or the other. I mean, just come on, guys, just let everyone get whatever
they want,
freaking want.
Right.
And if you want to get physical, get it physical. If you want a digital, get it digital, and let others live. It's very similar to the console war, right? Which is absolutely stupid.
Senseless, yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid, senseless. It just proves that you're irrational if you're kind of of defending one side of the
at the expense of having someone else pay for.
Yeah, I mean, just get the game however
decision.
you want. If you prefer the ease and convenience of digital, download it. Yeah, go ahead. If you want the box and you want it to be on your shelf and your collection, order it on Amazon or go to GameStop or to Walmart or to whatever freaking store you want, right? And yeah, and that's basically my position. I do think digital is moving forward. I see a lot of positive things with that, because let's keep in mind that digital opened the doors for a lot of developers, for almost the entire indie industry.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of amazingly talented developers making very good games thanks to digital distribution, because it's way easier and more. It's definitely more convenient for a developer to sell the game digitally. It's easier, and it's a lot less hurdle, right? And
you don't have to put the effort on actually putting game on disc
and
on
it's
the
not
price
only
of doing it.
It's not
either.
only the effort, right? It's a lot of the process,
Right.
because you gotta sign a deal, you gotta get a publisher, you gotta get your manufacturing things in order. It's a pain, really.
Right.
And just having the game digitally is way more easier. I mean, and also, I mean, the revenue split for indie devs in digital distribution is way more
fair.
It's way more fair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say fair, but better. But basically better for an indie studio when doing digitally than when doing physically. Just, I mean, numbers are different for every game and every developer, but most of the time, like an average, the revenue split of a game sold digitally is most of the time it's like 70% for the dev and 30% for the platform.
Right.
Maybe it's Steam or Xbox or whatever. I mean, each one has its different splits,
Partition,
and each one has its and it kind of varies per game as well. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the case for all, but it's kind of an average, right? And on physical things, it's the same number, 70-30, but opposite. Like 30% for the studio, and 70% for everything else. Yeah. And I mean, that's a big difference, right? And
and that's because you have to take into account transportation and the retail store that it's selling at, the 100 different
retail space
variables.
Costs.
Yeah, exactly.
Costs. I mean, server space costs as well, right?
Yeah, but not in the same amount.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not the same. And all the logistics behind printing a disc and a box and send and shipping them to all over the world,
assembling together and
it's
stuff. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I agree 100%. Just following on the same train of thought. For me, digital distribution is, as you said, I don't think they should be competing with each other. I don't think digital distribution should be a danger or something that physical distribution should be afraid of. I think they can coexist perfectly. But I do think that in the future, right, we're not putting an exact number, an exact date, but I think that on the future, they would be the norm. Right now, or at least this last, I don't know, 5 years, physical distribution is the norm, for at least for the AAA games. Yeah. And then you have an aspect where you can decide to also make available the digital version of the game. And in the future, moving forward, I think that things are going to turn around. I think that the digital version is going to be the minimum viable product that you can ship. And then if you want to invest on it, you can go on and do the physical version.
Kind of what's happening with movies now.
Right, exactly.
For movies, digital is kind of the norm right now with Netflix. And even the full digital download is becoming very popular. But still, all movies are still being released on DVD.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think that has to do a lot with the way things are distributed, not just in terms of gaming. Like, say, go back a couple generations and you have cartridges, right? That was like the norm back then. Then you moved on to CD-ROMs, and you moved on to DVDs, and now you have Blu-rays. And at some point, movies and music and games are going to be so heavy, so big in terms of actual digital sizes that you're not going to be able to fit them on a Blu-ray anymore. You see games right now that are 50 gigs or more. And in that sense, I think that digital distribution is going to be a thing until we find a new way to compress data and to find a new way of distributing it by, I don't know, flash drives or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's more that has to do more with the media node, like the where you're storing the games. I think we'll be seeing a shift from Blu-rays to another different storage format, and we're kind of seeing that now already with SD cards. Because right now you can have an 128 gigs SD card or more and store a game like that, which is kind of rumored that Nintendo may be doing that with the NX, perhaps.
Nintendo's been moving in that direction since the times of the Wii, right? They're preferred way of storing data on your Wii was the SD card. Granted, it had a hard drive, right? But still, you
not
have
a hard drive, but a flash.
A flash drive. And but you always had the option of putting an SD card in there, and I think that the Wii U also has the same.
Definitely.
And probably the NX is gonna go the same route, and they're gonna probably steer in that direction, right?
Yeah, and there have been rumors that maybe they will be moving towards games that the NX games, instead of being shipped through the in a disc, being shipped on an SD card,
right.
which could make it compatible as well with a handheld aspect of an NX, right?
Yeah.
So I think that the physical distribution may move towards that.
Yeah.
Towards that route, but I don't know. I mean, we're
speculating,
just speculating,
right?
But I mean, I think we can summarize all this discussion with both can coexist. I mean, you just said that both can coexist, and just get the games however you want them.
Right? Exactly. Don't try to force your own likes and wants on other people, right? Because I mean, it's a sea of guys out there, and a lot of people have different preferences, and we should respect that.
And the same goes for consoles, for Xbox
definitely.
One,
Exactly.
Whatever you want to play.
We mentioned it, right? Console wars are a stupid thing. Just allow everyone to play anywhere they want, and we're gonna talk a little about something later on that could be a very interesting,
exciting thing.
Parting thing with the console wars. But before we do that, let's move on to the main topic of the day, which is VR. VR was the main competitors in the VR. Almost all of the competitors in the VR spectrum finally released every detail we can ask for, at least the important details that we can ask for of them. Finally yesterday with the PSVR, with the PlayStation VR announcement, we now have all the specs and all the prices and release windows for every major VR headset. And I'm very interested to see your opinion on all this. But real quick, just to let me shut my phone off. And real quick, let's go through the main aspects of each headset.
The big three.
The
of
big
VR.
three, yeah.
The big three.
The big
VR.
three VR headsets. Starting with the PlayStation VR, which was announced yesterday. Not announced, but was
The final
covered yesterday.
specs and the release
exactly.
window and the price.
So PlayStation VR price and release window, $400, $400 for the headset, but there's a catch. You have to have the PS camera. That's a must, and that's another $60.
Is that a must for all games?
That's a must for all games.
All of them.
Yeah. What's not a must is the PS Move.
The PS Move.
You can use that for some games, but it's not a necessity. So, but I mean, at the end, it's $460 unless you already have a PS camera, which it's probable and likely, maybe, if you are.
Most people do not.
Most people do not, but some people out there, just as people with Kinects, right? Yeah. There are some of us out there.
But I think there are more people with Kinect.
Definitely, yeah, because they forced it on consumers at the beginning.
Than more people with cameras. I mean,
definitely.
Basically, I think that the people that do own a PS camera, a PlayStation camera, are people that wanted to stream.
Yeah.
Through the
Probably.
PS4, and that's not a lot of those.
Yeah, or that we're very, very much into voice commands, which they also can do them on a smaller capacity, but still possible.
Voice commands on the PS4 are done through the microphone on the controller. I mean,
really?
Through the on the controller, you could always connect like a headset or headphones,
and you could do it through there.
Through the microphone of your headphones.
I assumed it was through the camera.
But I don't know if they're available through the camera as well. I don't know that. So
yeah, don't take our word for that.
Yeah, I don't know that because I don't own a PS camera, so
right.
I have no idea.
Right. Really. But anyway, if you don't own one and you want a PS VR headset, you better make sure to have at least $460 to spend. And we're gonna go back to PS VR in a second. Oculus Rift, which is the first one and the one that caused the most
noise.
Waves, noise on the VR. Yeah. Side of things.
Owned by Facebook.
Whatever. Great, Mark Zuckerberg. Weird decisions, and you probably make it less enticing for people to buy it. But okay. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the slack that Oculus received, but I mean, on other hand, it's just Facebook diversifying its investments portfolio, right? So,
and I mean, they have the benefit of the doubt, right? We haven't seen much of it, and what we've seen, it's promising in terms of VR. It's gonna be $600. We already know that, and we're gonna need a capable PC, that's capable of running games for the Oculus, but it's not as hefty. It's say $500, and that's an estimate from me. $500 PC.
I think you need more than that.
No, you can manage to probably build a PC with that budget that's capable of running most games.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea because I'm not a PC guy. So.
Right. Yeah, you can build a pretty capable PC for $500. That's around what you need to run Oculus Rift games. Right. And that's coming out this month, actually, in a couple of weeks, in March 28th.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's a month. Yeah, March 28th is a Monday. It's 2 weeks.
One and a half weeks. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Which is very, very soon.
Very soon, yeah.
And finally, HTC Vive. It's coming on April. So very, very soon. And I think the pre-orders are already out. If people want to pre-order the headset, they can do it already. And they are going to start shipping on April. The headset, though, is $800, which is a lot. It's a lot of money. And not just that, the specs for the headset require you to have an even heftier PC.
Yeah.
So add to the 500 price tag that I put on your PC, add maybe another 300. Around $800 if you are able to build a PC capable of running HTC Vive. Now, these are estimates, right? And these are coming from the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I estimate that's probably what you're going to need. So in any case, the PlayStation VR is the most accessible one, right?
Definitely.
What do you think of this? What do you think of VR in general and on each of the headsets, I guess?
It's a very interesting scenario, really, because... I mean, just looking at the price tags of these three headsets and what they are doing, I think all three of them are going for different markets.
Right.
Maybe Sony is trying to get the broadest market out of all three, but all of the three of them are going for very different gamers, very different people. So Sony is definitely going for the PlayStation 4 gamer,
right?
For the guy that plays on console, a bigger, more like a mass market because. Sony is using the term mass market but I disagree. I don't think they can get a mass market because it's still an additional $400.
Yeah, it's
$460.
Yeah, it's pretty much a new console
Yeah,
entirely.
and I don't know. I don't think they're getting a mass market, but they definitely have a bigger chance of getting a bigger market than the other two guys, I think.
Definitely.
And Oculus is going for the PC gamers, for
Right.
the bigger audience on PC, and I think they have a chance of finding this audience. And HTC Vive is going perhaps for the most niche audience out of all three, because they're going for the PC guys, but like the most hardcore,
Right. Yeah, I agree.
the PC guys that are the kind of people that are so proud of their rig that
Yeah.
even upload pictures of it every single day. The kind of people that are really invested in making their PCs these beasts that can run games at 4K, 120 frames per second, right? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think the three the three platforms are going for very, very different audiences. Me personally, I definitely fit on the PlayStation VR audience, because I mean I do not own a PC, and I do not intend to do so. And yeah, for me that's definitely the PlayStation VR. Also, I do not think I'm getting one, like
Okay.
on release. I still gotta see. I mean, I gotta see more games.
I think we mentioned it before. You're not yet sold, right, on the whole VR.
Yeah,
thing.
I think that VR is an interesting technology, but I do think I think that it's gonna not flop, but I don't think it's people are expecting it to be like this widespread appeal and take over gaming and revolutionize gaming. And no, I don't think that's ever happening, because I mean, look what happened with 3D TVs, with motion controllers last
yeah.
gen, and because both Nintendo and Xbox later with Kinect and PlayStation with Move, look, oh, you are the controller and this is changing gaming. No, it didn't, right?
Yeah.
It didn't, because there's something about the experience of getting a controller, right, and sitting in front of a TV. So I don't see myself getting home after work, after an 8-hour or whatever shift I have at my job at the time, right? I don't see myself getting to my place after work, I don't know, tired or whatever, just wanting to relax and play a game, and putting on a thing that will like isolate me from everything else.
Right.
I don't want to get home and isolate me from my girlfriend or my family or whoever I am with them over, from my dog or my cat, whatever. I don't want that. And I may do that for half an hour, maybe an hour, but I don't see myself doing this for 4 hours, or 2 to 4 hours every single night. Like just putting a thing and me being inside this and just being completely isolated from my house and what is in my place. I don't see this taking over gaming as some people intend or think.
Right. Well, that's part
be.
of the appeal, right? That's part of what, I mean, for most people, that's exactly what they want. They want to be isolated from the world and immerse themselves on this digital realm. That what I'm worried about is that, and I don't think that, at least not now, that they're going to be able to deliver that. That's what I'm afraid of. I don't think that they're going to be able to fully,
immerse
okay,
you.
they can isolate you, but they're not going to immerse you entirely I think that they're going to fail after a while, just like with 3D movies. After a while, you just get used to the 3D. You're just watching the thing in 2D again, and 2D in your mind.
Yeah.
And at some point, people are going to remember that they are inside a game, that they are inside a headset, and they're going to lose that magic.
Yeah.
And I think they have to work on that. They have to work on making the experience as immersive as possible. But if they do, they're going to lose all the people like you, right? They're going to lose all the people that just want to get home, relax, grab a controller, have, I don't know, some chips, some Coke, some, not a drug, some...
I mean, whatever you're into, right?
Yeah.
If it's legal where you live.
Right.
Because I don't think
it's legal. But yeah, have some interaction, because there's a magic to having someone to talk to when you're playing. And it's probably going to lose that part of the market. But at the same time, if they make it that immersive, it can create a whole new genre, if you may, of games that are hyper realistic, that are hyper immersive in the sense of you being the controller this time around. But yeah, I can see the parallel with motion controllers and motion controllers, which just flopped terribly. And even though I see the potential, I don't think they're gonna make it. Not on their first try. Maybe on a couple iterations. Maybe
with VR,
in the future.
I don't think that VR will flop as motion controllers did. I don't think they will flop, but I think it will stick, but it will be on a different road. I don't think it will take over the gaming landscape that we know now. I don't think it will replace anything on how we play, but it will be a separate thing that exists as an option, right?
Okay.
As something that you can do, and there are games that you can play this way and that way. I think that many developers, especially on PlayStation, I think that many developers will be moving in a sense that, my new game can be played like traditionally, or if you own a PlayStation VR, you can do VR in, let's say, Alien Isolation kind of game, right? So you can play it both a traditional way with a TV and a controller, and you can also do the PlayStation VR thing. I think that the developers are going to go that route, because I don't think that it will be sustainable really to just make a big AAA game just for the PlayStation VR. I think it's going to be, I think it's a tough call for Sony and developers. I think they're going to be taking the route that they are with, for instance, the Battlefront VR experience. That they announced. I think they're gonna go in that way. And I mean, I'm excited to see the games, and I'm excited to play some of the stuff with PlayStation VR and Oculus or whatever. I mean, but I don't think that it will ever replace the way I play, change the way I play games. Because I mean, you and I, we get together many times and play, I don't know, like Gears of War or Super Mario 3D World, whatever. I mean, we do play games together, right? It's sitting next to each other.
Right.
I don't think that we really want to put a helmet, both of us, for 5-6 hours straight, and losing the feeling of, I mean, doing something stupid in the game or just failing, and losing the feeling of like turning around and watching each other, our reactions and laughing and screaming. We would lose that. And that's something, and that's something that I don't know. I don't see myself really getting into. I think this is more for the people that really want to isolate themselves, and people that want to just like forget about the world and just get inside this virtual thing for a few minutes or hours. And I think this is that's the audience, that's the niche audience that they're getting to, and that makes me think that it will not.
I even think that it's more than just like having an audience. I think audiences are dynamic, right? We are the type of players that enjoy every single thing. And granted, I also
not every single thing.
Well, not every
right?
single thing, but we're the kind of players that, for instance, we play together and we love interacting with each other and laughing it off and all that. But we also have, like, for instance, when I play Fallout, when you play The Witcher. Those are moments where we are just focused on playing that game, right? And if they can come up with games that are on that same vein, on that same line of, games that you play on your own, alone, that you pump up the volume of your audio setup, and that kind of game I can see getting into. I can see myself putting the headset and interacting with, if the experience is done right. Now, that's my fear. I don't really fear the isolation part. I fear that they are not going to be able to really immerse me in a game. Because immersion is not just looking around. It's moving around. It's interacting with stuff. And granted, they are starting to work on things like that. Like, okay, grabbing things from a table or
but I mean,
simple things.
If you're still with a controller in your hand, that breaks, breaks your immersion.
Or if you cannot move. I mean, at some point, your mind recognizes that you're not moving. And that if your character is moving, then something's wrong, right? And that's what I think can break the immersion, and that for me can be a very, very heavy burden to have for VR. Sorry.
It's more like a screen that is in your eyes, really.
Too. Also, there's all sorts of extra things and health issues with screens in your eyes, and even
I mean, people getting dizzy is gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue, definitely.
Granted that they've been working on it for a while, and they allegedly say that it's almost resolved for the majority of people, but I don't know. We'll have to wait.
I think that the first time you'll try it, you'll get dizzy as hell.
I sure did.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. But again, my PC is not a gaming PC, so that might have been why. But there's and besides, on top of that, gaming, it's already a very difficult thing to get on board with, because games are very complex nowadays. If you want to make, I mean, kids don't really count, but if you want to make someone older, I don't know, your uncle, your dad, your someone that's, you know, some generations above you, if they're not gamers already, you're not gonna make them become gamers.
No.
And even less with things like this, right? You're not gonna convince them.
The Wii tried to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and it managed for one game.
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports.
Yeah.
And after the flair for Wii Sports just went away, all the people that are not gamers and play Wii Sports never play a game again.
Yeah.
Like never.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So if Wii Sports was a lucky fluke.
yeah.
But VR, I don't see my dad, or I don't see any grown up that's not already a gamer, really being enticed to the gaming side of things if things go in that direction.
I see them trying it for once, and it's cool.
Curiosity,
That's it,
right?
That's it. And that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
not
that's
to
it.
play a game, not to stay 20, 50, 100 hours playing something
absolutely
on that
not.
thing. You know.
And I mean,
Not even us, right?
yeah,
Probably.
I mean, I wouldn't play a game like Fallout all the time on VR. Man, like 100 hours with a thing in, man, that's no, like that doesn't sound enticing to
Yeah,
me. That's
we don't picture it.
Yeah, definitely.
But
not.
I mean, again, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
it's the next big thing. Maybe it changes the entire landscape. But
I'd like to be proven wrong. I would
Yeah.
love that they prove me wrong, and I love to see VR really being a revolution. But I don't think it will really.
right, yeah, agreed 100%. Just expanding a little on VR and maybe VR, especially on PlayStation camp. We have two interesting news regarding, first, the VR headset, which was announced yesterday, and with it came a statement from Executive Vice President of PlayStation, Masayasu Ito. And he said that, as we expect, PlayStation VR is not going to be for that broad VR-hungry audience, right? It's more of a headset for everyday use,
Yeah.
he said. That's a quote. And I agree. I mean,
Definitely. Yeah.
there's a reason the headset is $200 cheaper than its closest competitor, right?
Yeah.
It's not a headset that's gonna be capable of things that the HTC Vive can, right? In terms of specs, in
Absolutely,
terms of
yeah.
running things, in terms of frequency and refresh rates and
Yeah.
whatnot. So yeah, if you're gonna go into the VR realm and you're really excited for it, PlayStation VR might not bring the entirety of the experience with it. Maybe on a couple games, maybe on PlayStation exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you buy a VR game, just a VR game that's branded VR, you're probably going to play it better on a Vive or on an Oculus than you can with a PlayStation
I think this
VR.
has to do more with where you play. I mean, if you play games only on console, only on PS4, PSVR is gonna do it for you. If you're a PC gamer, with a PlayStation 4, but you own a PC, like a gaming PC, I mean, go for an Oculus Rift or an HTC Vive,
Right.
because they're looking for different audiences, definitely.
Yeah.
The PlayStation VR is going for an audience that doesn't want to spend time troubleshooting or I don't know, setting up things. And
Right.
I mean, like me, I just want to get the thing, open the box, and look at it and be happy
Ready to
about
go,
it,
yeah.
smell it.
Yeah.
I mean, just get the thing, connect the thing on the USB port, and
That's it.
putting on. That's it. I just want it to work like quickly.
Right.
And the PC landscape is very different, right? Because you gotta set up things, you gotta move settings, you gotta do stuff to make it work properly. You gotta
And not
adjust.
just settings. Say the HTC Vive has motion sensors that you actually have to place around the room.
Around the room.
And that's extra effort that
Yeah.
not everyone is going to be very happy to do.
Different audiences, definitely.
Entirely. Yeah. And going back to immersion, Sony filed 3 patents a couple weeks back, actually, for glove-like controllers. Do you think this is going to help the PlayStation VR?
Are we in the 80s once again?
I know, right? Power gloves and shit, yeah.
The power glove for the NES.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know.
Sony always coming up with original
things.
Very original ideas.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Love you, Sony.
it's interesting to see them trying innovative things, trying to, test different waters. I don't think this is going to end up going to mass market, though. I think this is going to be something internal, something they're going to try out and realize that it's not going to pan out as great. And if it does, then maybe we'll see it someday. But I think this is more of, something they're trying internally. And And yeah, maybe we're never gonna see it, but it's interesting to see them tasting different waters.
I mean, companies always register patents for a lot of stuff that they do not put out, like a lot. And maybe most likely this is one of those. Or maybe they're trying new stuff to work with the PlayStation VR, right?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about immersion, and holding a controller breaks your immersion. I mean, what about having like a glove in your hand and do stuff with that, right? Something that I can move my fingers and see
It
them
could be a
moving
very
in my-
interesting
in my-
idea,
in my
Yeah.
headset, right? So, I mean, there's potential to that, but I don't know if they just register the patent, if they just file these things. I mean, I don't know if we can see something about that soon. I don't know.
Probably not. Yeah, probably a couple years of,
Yeah.
of testing and whatnot.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. And finally, wrapping up the VR discussion, and not really in VR. This is more of AR thing and augmented reality. The HoloLens from Microsoft. It's available for pre-orders, and it's gonna be $300 a dev kit. Which is a lot of money.
300? 3,000.
3,000,
right?
sorry.
3,000
3,000.
bucks.
3,000, yeah.
3,000. So, HoloLens.
3 and 3 zeros, yeah.
HoloLens. That's something I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Augmented reality, that's something that I see a lot of potential. I like AR, I think that's where the future is. Not VR, but AR. Like, man, I just see... And I'm not talking only about games, but like everyday stuff. What's happening?
I know, my computer went AWOL here.
I mean, just like everyday stuff. Like, I just think that like AR can really change things.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Just placing a screen on the wall that only I can see with my and still see my surroundings.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I don't know, just being on my computer and having the ability to look at my email on the freaking desk,
Yeah.
right? But no one else but me. That's awesome, man. And for architects and game designers.
Yeah, exactly.
Just creating
Watching
the game,
the 3D models
and
of
watch,
what you're creating.
and watching the level take life in your
Right,
desk,
yeah.
and just being able to move it and
Scroll
see
it around, and yeah.
That's awesome.
True.
That's there's a lot of potential for that.
Now, the thing is, the potential comes because it transcends gaming, right? It's something that can be used everywhere. Medical equipment.
It's same for VR, really, but I do see more for AR than VR, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. And on the price tag, I understand it because of that, right? It's something that's going to be having development going for it on so many different aspects and so many different places and things and software development and even things other than software.
Keep in mind that this $3,000 is for the dev kit.
Yeah.
And
this is not for consumers.
Yeah, because I remember that the dev kit for the Oculus Rift was insanely expensive back in the day when it was initially shipping for devs. And I think it's gonna be the same case for HoloLens. I don't think we'll see HoloLens anytime soon. I think this is we will see this being on the market way later and not this year. I think. Yeah. Maybe next year, but I still think it's gonna be more like a 2018 thing. But I see like a lot of potential for this. I'm excited. Just imagine, I don't know, like for instance, for gaming, a horror game, right? And
my thoughts exactly. Yeah.
And just seeing. In a scene, just seeing like blood coming out of your TV, like dripping out of your TV, and then
the
looking
freaking girl from The Ring coming out.
Yeah, and the freaking girl coming out of of your bedroom door, of your closet door, and just and seeing stuff in your floor, right? Because both of us, a quick thing about us, we are freaking afraid of cockroaches.
Oh yeah,
We're the kind of guys.
Cannot imagine. It's a real phobia.
We're the kind of guys that when we see one, even if it's small, we get on the table and scream and kill it.
You can really, you start sweating, and it's a terrible thing. It's horrible. It's horrible.
The two of us, like, we are just irrationally afraid of those things. So I mean, man, imagine like you're playing like Silent Hill, whatever whatever the game you're playing, right? And just the game screwing with you and putting these bastards in your floor,
exactly,
and you're like getting on your chair like, oh my god, like what? Yeah, just imagine that, picture that. There's a lot of potential for
Yes,
that. And
yes.
just your room like getting darker and your ceiling like falling apart and like blood and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
There's a lot of potential for that because you are still in your room. I think there's more potential for immersion.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
With HoloLens, with AR, because your brain recognizes that.
Exactly.
I mean, this is my room, right? This
Right.
is my desk. This
Yeah,
is my
and you're
that's
moving,
my bed.
and
That's
exactly,
my,
yeah, and you
right?
can see things moving the way because you're still in the real world.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the kind of thing that has, invasion of privacy in the best of ways, right?
Yeah.
They can
I
really
don't
do
mind. I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly. Me either. You can really imagine that playing a Silent Hills that's rendering on your house. That's like the worst. But that's amazing.
Just imagine a game that requires you to play in co-op, for instance, and just in an instant, like you turn around and look at your buddy or your girlfriend, whatever, and he or she is like a freaking monster or
dying.
something.
So yeah, definitely. Bleeding and stuff. Yeah.
Imagine that, like looking at you. Like, just picture that, man. There's a lot of potential. The thing with HoloLens is that they have to pull it off right.
Right.
Like, the technology has to be right. But if they can, man, sign me up. Sign me up for that.
Yes, definitely. And they're at a very good pace with it, too. Yeah. They have already dev kits out, and they're probably going to reiterate on them. And eventually, when it gets to us, to the consumer... Yeah. I hope they are amazing products.
The demo on
Minecraft?
On Minecraft, the Minecraft demo on E3. I mean, I don't like Minecraft. I don't care about Minecraft, but the demo was impressive.
Yeah. Definitely.
I was wowed.
I wasn't expecting something like that to be even possible.
Yeah, I was wowed by that way more than I've ever been impressed by VR.
Right.
Way more. Yeah. Good going, Microsoft. Cool. And I'm not a fan of Microsoft. You know that. The only thing that Microsoft does that I like is Xbox. Right. Everything else I freaking hate. Yeah. I don't like Microsoft. I don't like Microsoft as a company. But man, Microsoft, you got my attention. Really. Like, man, I'm excited. I'm so excited about this, and I think there's a lot of potential for this. And it's I'm hyped.
Yeah. And it's very cool too because VR, like it or not, became a very crowded space in a very, very short span of time. Yeah. We have 3 headsets being announced that are very, very similar between them.
And we have Google Cardboard.
The Cardboard box and the actual the not just the cardboard one, the real one that they're also working on. That's going to come on at some point in the future. Yep. But HoloLens, there's only one real AR headset being developed. You can say that Google Glass was, but it stopped being developed, and now it's in a very weird hiatus status. And this one's, at least for now, it's a very real reality, right? It's a very real product. So we'll have to wait and see. Very, very excited for it. Let's see if there's something on E3 that they might talk a little more. I don't know. I
think they will.
You think?
I think they will show something, at least another demo maybe, just to keep people like
have it in mind.
Conscious about, hey guys, we know that these guys are getting VR this year, but wait a bit,
right?
We have something better, right? I think they can
do something like that.
They can do something like that, and man, I'm hyped.
Me too, man, me too. Okay, let's wrap things up with the discussion and move on to news and announcements.
Man, we already spent an hour.
Yeah, we already have an hour in on the show. We'll still have maybe a couple 20 minutes or something.
Yeah,
we're gonna cut some of the news out, but we cannot cut this one out because this one's freaking amazing. I'm really, really excited for this. Xbox announced cross-network play availability for
awesome.
Finally. Oh god, I'm so excited. I was thinking of this yesterday. It was announced, and it reminded me of a little story that I had. Not story, but when I first got my 360, my brother. You see, my brothers. They're half brothers. They're half siblings, and we don't live together, right? And I bought my 360, and sometime later they were thinking about buying a console, and I was excited because I was going to be able to play with them, right? And at the end, they, for some reason or another, guys, they bought PS3s.
Okay.
And so, and one day I remember we both played Call of Duty at the time, and we were talking about it, and he said, and he told me, it would be so great if we could play together. Can't we do that? Why don't we do that? And I mean, that's not possible, right? And I was like, oh, well, I mean, I know we're both playing online. We're both playing the same
game.
Yeah, the exact same game, and yet there's a barrier that's not allowing us to do that. And ever since that moment, that's been on the back of my mind. Like, oh, I could play with my brothers if I had cross network compatibility. And then games started coming out that were doing that at the beginning of the generation with the PC. Street Fighter, Rocket League, and even on the PS2 and PS3 days, there were a couple games that were with PC. Not a lot, but a few select games. And but now Microsoft, it's opening the doors for this to finally be able to happen, and I'm really, really excited for it. Actually, a couple hours back, Sony not announced, but responded, right? They gave a generic answer, but they opened the doors as well. So it's a very, very likely scenario for games to finally be able to be played amongst both audiences, and I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, and even ourselves, 'cause I own a PS4 and you on Xbox One, right? And yeah, I mean, just removing our struggle for, man, if I own both consoles, where am I getting this game? Well, if I get on this one, I may get this bonus, but I want to play with my friends that are on this other platform.
Right.
You can just get rid of that.
Yeah,
and just buy whatever freaking version of the game you want and allow people to play with anyone.
Exactly. Not that long ago, we were talking about The Division, right? And you played it with a couple of the guys from work. I played it on my own because all the people that I was going to play with ended up not downloading the beta. And so I was there on my own playing The Division. Granted, I had fun, but not the same type of fun that you had.
Better, right?
Yeah, because playing things with people makes it much more enjoyable most of the times. And
online games, definitely.
And yeah, having something like this would have opened the door for me to play with you guys, even though I own the Xbox version. Yeah,
that's so exciting. I mean, even if they only manage to do gaming and not, for instance, communication or voice chat. I mean,
you can always Skype.
Yeah, you can always Skype. I mean, you can go to another solution for that if you can actually play. But just the idea of being able to play with people on other consoles, that's just awesome.
Yeah,
with friends on other platforms, because I have a lot of friends that game, but all of them are spread on Xbox One and PS4.
Right.
So every time I buy a game, an online game, I'm like, well, why do I want to play with? And I have to make a choice of who my friends I prefer playing with.
Yeah, and that's tough.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's not cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that right. That's not cool. And because anything you choose, you're gonna be people mad, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna disappoint people. One
exactly.
camp or the other. So. Just getting the ability to play online with PS4 and Xbox One and making the consoles communicate in a sense, that's awesome. That's exciting. And that also, it's a cool thing for instance, for games for older games that their online audiences are just so tiny. For instance, games that release on the beginning of the generation or whatever. So maybe I'm playing on an Xbox One, and there's no one playing on the Xbox One this game online on Monday night, right? Monday evening. So, but maybe there are people on the PS4s. Maybe allow me to communicate, to connect with them and play with them, even if I don't talk with them, but just being able to play. And that's cool. And
yeah, I agree.
And I think that's very, very cool for instance, for online communities like The Division, Destiny, like just getting the audience of these games bigger, and making the player base bigger, because you can. It opens the doors for a lot more more people to play with you and your team. Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so. Man, that would be awesome.
Now, it would. I would argue that, if you want cross-network compatibility with all PC and the other console, it would preferably have to be a cooperative game, because the shooters in PC are a very different beast to what we are used to in consoles. Say a Call of Duty, right? A Call of Duty, playing with mouse and keyboard might give an advantage in terms of reaction times and whatnot to the PC side of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But say if you could play with only PS4, right? A Call of Duty that you share the community amongst consoles, that would be a perfect match.
Maybe have the option, like have playlists. for games that are very big and popular, like Call of Duty,
Right.
you can have playlists. Like I only want to play with people on PS4, or I only want to play with people on consoles, or a full open lobby. But on the other hand, the case with Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty is a very different scenario because Call of Duty is way, way bigger on consoles.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is one of these big shooters that on PC is almost non-existent. Like, not many people play Call of Duty on PC compared to the PS4 and Xbox One. Call of Duty is just a shooter that is big on PC. And it's just a game that is, in many senses, mouse and keyboard, but Call of Duty specifically is a game that is very much designed for a controller in mind, just because of its history and how it's been evolving. Just look at all the Call of Duty Championship. Like, everybody's with a controller, right? It's a game that the player base and the competitive scene is moving with a controller in mind because of type of game. Counter-Strike or a game like that. Team Fortress. Like, no way you can keep console players on par with the PC guys. That's no way. But many other games definitely can. Division, Destiny.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my point. If you have a cooperative game like Destiny, like the Division, well, granted, Destiny has a PvP part, but the cooperative parts of those games, that would be great to play with your friends everywhere, anywhere.
And Call of Duty would be so cool. Imagine having playlists with PS4 versus Xbox One,
right?
And having six on PS4 versus 6 on Xbox One, and having them and have statistics. That would that would flame more the stupid console wars.
But it would be a nice spin-off to the if the war's still there. Well, take advantage of it, right?
And that would be cool because people would be flowing to that playlist just to prove that their piece of plastic is better than the other.
Exactly.
Which is stupid. But and this news is so exciting. But man, the negativity of a big part of the gaming audience just baffles me. Just impresses me in a bad sense because I've seen people complaining about this.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people on the PS4 side, like, oh no, just keep those, keep those gamers on the Xbox bone, on the XDVR, whatever. Just keep them isolated over there. We don't want them here. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, come on, guys, open up. Yeah, I although I think that's a vocal minority.
Yeah.
That's a very bad mindset to have.
If you complain about your ability to play with other people being bigger and being better, you have issues, really.
Yeah.
You have deep social issues that, man, you gotta
check
that out, because, and I don't mean any disrespect for anyone, but how can you complain about having the ability to play with other people?
Which is a great thing.
Just because they have a different piece of plastic below their TVs.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Just let them.
But in again, as a summary, we are very, very excited about this, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, very excited. And
when do you think we'll be seeing this a reality?
Oh man, I don't know.
If it ever becomes a reality, right?
I would expect to see things happening as soon as this holidays.
Yeah.
This year. Sony already responded generically, but they responded and they are open to the idea and say maybe the next Call of Duty is going to be cross-network compatible. That would be amazing. That would be that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And I would totally understand it, and I can see it happening. We even have smaller examples like Rocket League, right, that are going to be most likely possible in the next few months.
Yeah.
So I can see it for the next of the year, for the end of the year, so being a reality. I hope.
Would be so cool.
And if not, maybe, I don't know, 1 year and a half.
Yeah.
I don't think this is something that's that hard to make possible. I'm not that much of a tech guy. I don't understand that much of servers and how to connect them, but I don't think it's that terribly hard. So I would love to see this happening soon. How about you?
Yeah, same as you. I think that we could see this as early as by the end of this year.
Perfect.
Although I think we'll be seeing a more, a more widespread or a more common connection between servers by next year. But yeah, I think we could see the first examples or the first cases. Yeah, by the first batch of games this year. With Rocket League and maybe a few others here and there.
Right, maybe Final Fantasy or... What other games?
Final Fantasy?
One of the Final Fantasies that are online.
14, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Something like, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be very, very cool.
Yeah, let's run by the next batch of news quickly and see if we can get them all in. The Division has become the best-selling new game franchise of all time, going over Destiny.
I
didn't see this coming either.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right. Good for Ubisoft.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. And I mean, everybody in the team behind this game should be very, very excited.
Very proud. Yeah. And having success with new franchises always marks great things for new franchises coming in the future, right?
Yeah. And especially Ubisoft is a company that treats all of their games as franchises, right? Because they want to make a franchise out of everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, not at all.
And it's exciting. It's cool. Very, very, very cool because new franchise, new idea, ambition. It's a very ambitious idea.
Exactly.
It's a new thing coming, and being this successful, it speaks very good. And
it seems that people are very hungry for new franchises. I mean, having Destiny do as well as it did, and now the Division doing this good.
And back then, Watch Dogs did very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good sales-wise.
Exactly. So that's very interesting on part of the community, and on part of hopefully Ubisoft makes an effort to keep this type of games coming. New games, different ideas. Just don't annualize them, please, Ubisoft. Keep them, give each game its space.
I don't think that the Division is a franchise
that you can
really
analyze.
be
No, definitely
analyzed. I don't think so. Maybe they can go the way that Bungie did with Destiny, right? And maybe expand the game every
now and then.
Every now and then, but.
But I mean, for new franchises, don't try to create a new Assassin's Creed or a new Far Cry or something like that, because those franchises are slowly but steadily becoming,
less
tiresome.
Less
to play.
Exciting, definitely, because I mean, you've seen a lot. I think that what they are doing with Watch Dogs is cool, because they released Watch Dogs in 2014. It was, and it's only until this year that we may see Watch Dogs 2, right?
Yeah.
So I think a 2-year pace, I think it's good.
It's good, yeah.
A 2-year span between a game, I think is the minimum to be good,
right?
To be enough time to make people excited again.
Agreed 100%. On other news, CD Projekt RED, which is one of our favorite developers on the table, are working on a previously unused format for a game on 2016 this year. Now, I'm expecting that this is my personal view of this. I'm expecting this to be a very, very smaller scale game, something very likely coming to mobile. Yeah. That's what I'm expecting. Not that it's gonna be bad at all, but I think this is gonna be something akin to what Bethesda did with Fallout Shelter, probably along those lines. That's what I think, and because they're working on Cyberpunk and. For 2017, and already announced, I think, a new future RPG installment for something else coming in the future. So
and they're
they have their hands
finishing Blood and Wine.
Of course, and still,
I love that CD Projekt RED sounds like man, the name of the studio is still so funny to me. Like they pull out a dictionary and just
right.
This CD. Next word.
Let's misspell project because that's gonna make it harder to write.
Because we're Polish, right?
Yeah,
because we're Polish.
Exactly.
And it's the kind of studio that really they pull out 3 random words and
put them together, and that's our name.
and the same thing for Metal Gear Solid. Really, for
right, yeah,
like Metal Gear Solid doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah,
it sounds like three cool.
I haven't thought of that.
3 cool sounding words.
Yeah,
definitely.
Random
random cool sounding words. Like
right.
Just throw them in. That's you got a franchise.
Yeah, There's a lot of people doing things like that, like Full Metal Alchemist, right? Like
yeah.
Why Full Metal? Yeah. Whatever.
What
sounds cool. Yeah. Let's keep it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I get that. And so CD Projekt RED is one of the few developers that I can fully trust right now. Because I mean, man, The Witcher 3 is so awesome.
Yeah, and their ideologies for games and for DLC and for all these things are very, very innovative and nice.
Consumer friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
So a game working on a game with a previously unused format for 2016. So I think this is either a VR thing, a small VR thing.
I didn't thought of that.
But I'm way more inclined to this being a mobile thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've said before that I don't care about mobile games at all. I don't give a crap about them. But
If it's CD Projekt Red, it might make an exception.
Wait a second. But CD Projekt Red, there's something that it can do mobile that can make me go crazy. There is something. I don't know if you've thought of this, but for those of you guys that haven't played The Witcher 3, well, first thing, play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Second, there's a game inside The Witcher 3 called Gwent.
Okay.
Right? Called
I see where
Gwent.
you're going.
So, Gwent is a card-based game. It's a card game, like a board card game that is inside The Witcher 3. And there's like there are like 120 different cards on the game that you can collect by doing quests and defeating other players and buying them out of stores, right? I'm addicted to Gwent. Like on The Witcher 3, I play Gwent with everyone. I just loved Gwent. I completed the collection of Gwent cards in the game. I did it.
Nice.
I had the entire collection of Gwent cards, and I just love it so much. And I think it's a game that the devs designed like from scratch up for The Witcher 3.
Totally original, yeah.
And it's just fully original, and I think it's great. It's fantastic. It's an awesome card game. And keep in mind, I'm not a card game guy. Like I never played like Magic the Gathering. I don't care about it. I don't care about Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't care about it. Even I like Pokemon. I don't care about Pokemon trading card game. I was playing. But Gwent is a simple yet strategic and competitive. Like the mechanics of Gwent are so easy to understand, so easy to grasp, but at the same time, like, you gotta be strategic if you want to beat someone that's good at it, right? And there are some NPCs on Witcher 3 that were super tough to beat, like very very tough. I remember, no spoilers, but I remember there was a quest where you get into tournaments,
right?
And there was a player on the tournament that, man, I had to reload a pass save because it took me like 5 or 6 tries to finally beat.
Wow.
To beat him, her, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was super tough, and it's a very simple game that really requires your strategy. And I had a killer hand of cards, and I couldn't because it's a game that really requires strategy. And man, so a Gwent game for,
I don't know how I didn't thought of that.
For mobile.
Yeah, that would be very plausible.
Like what very similar to what Blizzard did with Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Hearthstone was a game,
Yeah.
Hearthstone, which was a very acclaimed game.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a developer that can pull that, it's definitely CD Projekt Red, and maybe a Gwent game and expand it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Get more cards on the game, like not 120, but make the collection bigger, and let people play online.
And you already have the basis for it. You wouldn't really need to invest that much time and effort into making a entirely new game.
Yeah,
right?
just make new cards and maybe more balancing, and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you can do and have the ability, I don't know, to battle different players around the world. And for instance, if I beat you, I get a random card from your deck. I mean, not take it away from you.
Right, but you get one of my cards.
Yeah,
right?
a copy of one of your cards, and have people playing like that to complete a collection.
Right.
Man, I'm excited. Like the idea of having a Gwent game on the go, it's very cool. And even on PC or Mac or whatever, like just having this option to play The Witcher 3. I mean, to have the Gwent game and The Witcher 3 online with players and having a standalone game based out of this.
That.
That's super cool.
That would really solve my struggle with this. My issue with this was that I couldn't see where the development time and effort and resources would come from to make a game in between supporting The Witcher 3 and developing Cyberpunk, right? Yeah. And I just couldn't see it. And now that makes a lot of sense, because the basis is already there. Yeah, that's... Guys, I think that's it. I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I think so.
And if it's not a CD Projekt, there's your game, guys.
There's your game. Yeah. I mean, even if it's not a free to play game, even if it's a game that you sell, I mean, I'm gonna buy it. Really
cool.
And I will buy that because and yeah, I mean, you can call me like what's the word, like hypocritical guy? Yeah. You can call me like a liar, whatever, and because of me being
playing on mobile.
of me being of me not making sense in the sense that I don't care about mobile games and I don't like them. Man, come on, this one's so cool. I mean, give me a pass. Give me a pass on this one. This one sounds so exciting.
And so plausible. Exciting. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't thought of that.
That's just get a team of people on the studio, a small team of people, and get Gwent out of The Witcher 3.
Right.
Add more cards, design more cards, and expand it. And
I mean, they probably already have a lot of concepts and things for the game that they came out with, right?
Yeah,
and that they discarded that they can rework on.
You cannot add cards from the characters and monsters out of the 2 expansions.
Exactly.
Out of the 2 Witcher 3 expansions. And even the previous games, because Gwent cards on The Witcher, all of them feature a character or a monster. Yeah. All of them, not only from The Witcher 3, but from the entire trilogy, right? And there's a lot of ground to explore, like, a lot of different things you can pull off. And, man, it would be so cool. Just get that and add online. Like, add the ability to play with other players.
Multiplayer,
And compete for cards or like a Pokemon thing, like exchange cards.
Right.
And build your collection, your deck.
Yeah,
that would be so cool.
Very
and maybe
cool.
keep expanding the
very
game expand the game every once in a while with new cards.
Right.
Man, oh my god.
Yeah, there's potential in there.
That's so cool. Like,
very nice prediction. Yeah.
That would be the first game on mobile devices on a mobile device that I would ever play. That would be the first one.
Really? You never played anything else?
I mean,
the Snake on your Nokia?
Yeah, definitely. But
yeah, real game.
Yeah, and I played Cut the Rope.
Oh, okay.
Cut the Rope on an iPad. But like, and Where's My Water? I think it was.
No idea.
It was a puzzle game that I really liked. But me playing, like, getting hardcore into a mobile game, this will be the first one.
Nice.
If it exists.
Very cool. Okay, let's jump to the next one and jump to the next few left real quick. Yeah. Rumor. There's a rumor of Final Fantasy, which we were talking about a little earlier. Final Fantasy.
Earlier.
I can talk. Yeah. I know. Oh my God. Final Fantasy 15. Yeah. Final Fantasy XV. Yeah,
Final
exactly.
Fantasy FFXV.
Exactly. It's rumored to be coming probably on September the 30th.
Makes sense. A lot of sense. The date makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I think this is real. Yeah, definitely.
Me too. I think it's probably
about
accurate.
time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's. I mean, I'm not much of a JRPG guy, but I know that a lot of people are, and especially for Final Fantasy.
This is a big one.
Yeah,
This is a Final Fantasy game that people have been expecting.
Yeah, and I think it would be coming on a very, very good spot, having Final Fantasy VII, the remastered version, remastered, retouched version, coming a little earlier, coming in the summer maybe, and then having people have enough time after playing that and staying still hungry for more Final Fantasy to play the next, the 15.
This is the game that can either put the franchise back on the top.
7 or 15?
15. Or kill it. Really.
Yeah.
It's the game that can... It's a game that, like, the entire fate of the Final Fantasy franchise depends on this game. I think so.
I agree.
And man, I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm also interested to see how it's going to compete with the rest of the games coming in Q3 and Q4.
Yeah, so that's what makes a lot of sense to me on a September 30 release date, because you're still way earlier than the October and November
releases.
And
you're not on the holidays, which is a very dangerous spot to be on. This is very, very interesting. Let's see how Final Fantasy does.
Yeah.
Cool. Next one, a very cool news, I think, very nice from Sony. Sony held a recruitment event last Monday. Monday the 14th. And they recruitment event for Lionhead, for the Lionhead layoffs. And I think that's a very nice gesture from Sony.
Yeah. So if you don't remember, guys, Lionhead was the studio that's been behind the Fable franchise,
the Fable franchise,
and the studio was closed down. I mean,
it's in talks of being closed.
It's been closing down.
It's pretty much
definitely.
certain. Yeah.
So Sony wants the talent out of the studio, and they are holding. They held a recruitment event for them. In London, right?
London, yeah.
For the
or
staff,
somewhere nearby London.
For the staff, and I mean, we don't have the inside information on that, but I just wish everybody at Lionhead to.
Yeah. 'Cause this is. I saw you were mentioning earlier people not being, being very critical of whichever Sony or Microsoft for doing things, and there were a lot of people angry for some reason about this.
About this one?
Yeah, about
Why?
Sony is just making it for marketing purposes and whatnot. And although I see that it might be, I mean, obviously they make it public and whatnot, but guys, this is people losing their jobs. We're
Exactly.
talking here, and a gesture like this from Sony. It's a very, I mean, these people would end up without income for who knows how much time, and they have families to support. They have kids to take to school. They have so many, bills to pay.
Right.
And, Sony doing this is an amazing thing. I cannot see why people would be mad at Sony for doing something
Because
like this.
people like to find the negative in everything,
Right.
negative things in everything. That pisses me off, really.
Yeah.
Even if this is like a PR thing for Sony, man, what the hell?
Whatever.
If they hire at least one guy, that's good.
Yeah,
Because that's one guy that will be able to pay his bills.
exactly.
That's one person that will be
Right.
able to pay his or her bills
Yeah.
and support him or herself and family, whatever.
Exactly. And it's a good, a talented individual that it's gonna go probably, I don't know, to press play or one of Sony's European studios,
or entirely new studio.
Or
Maybe
entirely
they
new-
can
yeah, exactly.
Form an entirely new studio,
Exactly.
whatever.
And this is a great thing for not just for the gaming landscape for Sony, for these guys. I mean, we cannot be that critical of everything, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Wrapping up the news section. Just some quick highlights from the GDC event that's going on still, I think.
Yeah.
Some games that we saw that were very interesting. Let me start with Star Wars Trails on Tatooine. Now we're talking on VR and stuff. This is a VR game that's Star Wars related, and that's very, very interesting. You have your VR headset, and you have a couple Move-like controllers.
Is this the one for PlayStation?
No, this is for just VR in general for your PC or whatever. The one for PlayStation is
It's Battlefront, right? Just Battlefront.
It's
VR, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Pamela, if you like BioShock, that kind of game in ambience, this is a game for you. It's say a BioShock plus DayZ / Rust, something like that, where you have.
And it's an indie.
It's an indie game, yeah.
Made in Unity. It's made in Unity.
Yeah. Which.
Wow.
If you see the game, it's impressive.
You don't believe it. You don't believe it.
Exactly. The
It
game looks amazing.
So cool.
And it's a survival horror game with a
Open
lot of
world as
open
well.
world,
Open
yeah.
world survival
And
horror.
very important, there's permadeath. So you really have to be careful on how you play this game if you don't want to die and restart the whole thing over.
Super promising.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
Skylar and Plux. It's a 3D platformer, very much in the veins of Banjo-Kazooie or Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, so I'm very interested to see it. And
Yeah.
I really like this trend of the revival, the renaissance of
3D platformers.
3D platformers. Yeah.
My favorite genre, by the way.
Really?
My favorite video
Nice.
game genre.
Cool.
Yeah, because it shaped so much of my
Childhood.
earliest gaming days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It wouldn't be my favorite genre right now, but earlier on, on my earlier gaming days, that was definitely my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Rayman, Banjo-Kazooie,
Oh my god!
Spyro,
Yeah, stop.
Crash. Yeah. Amazing games.
Yeah.
And that's it. And finally, last piece of news: Gears of War 4. Gears 4. It's bringing a beta. Beta 4. There's a couple of segments of this. People with it's pre-orders or someone had keys for the.
I think the people that bought the Ultimate Edition.
Probably,
I think so.
yeah,
I think
exactly,
so.
yeah. People
The
with
Gears of War
the
Ultimate Edition,
exactly.
I think so.
People that bought the Ultimate Edition had keys for the beta, which is gonna start on April the 18th and running all the way to April the 24th. And then from there on, selected people from the live community are gonna get picked on to play semi-pseudo open beta for the game.
Okay.
So probably all of the guys that are on the preview program for the Xbox Live, they're gonna be able to play it.
Not fully open, right?
Not fully open, but more open than just if you didn't buy the Ultimate collection, Gears of War Ultimate. You're gonna be able to play it, even though if you didn't have a key for that, which is very nice, and that's gonna run all the way to May the 1st.
Okay.
So yeah, we might be seeing at least having some impressions of the game, even if it's just on gameplay videos, or maybe we get to play it ourselves.
I mean, it's a single player beta or a multiplayer beta?
I think it's a multiplayer beta.
Okay.
I think it's kind of a horde mode.
Okay, so me personally, I never cared about multiplayer in Gears of War. I don't know, it didn't stick with me. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but I'm still looking forward to seeing what brings to the table.
Yeah,
right?
me too. And if you want to see even more of it, probably on E3, Microsoft, I'm expecting them to either open up with Gears or close up with Gears.
Definitely. Is there a big holiday title?
Yeah, exactly, for this year.
Yeah.
For 2016. And that's it, guys. Woo! We finished the show an hour 24. Well, okay, not that bad. Let's move on to games coming soon.
So games coming these few days, these upcoming days.
Yeah. We have everyone's favorite Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, coming this week for the 3DS. Yeah. Boy, am I hyped for this game. Said no one ever. And I don't think for the Wii U version, no one's going to get hyped for that. I really want to see if the Zika crisis continues. I want them to change the place of the Olympics so that all those games don't make any sense anymore. Like,
I can see people getting.
Just kidding. I don't want anyone getting Zika, any crisis on Brazil for that. It's a terrible disease.
I can see people, a few people like younger audience maybe, and and not so experienced gamers perhaps getting kind of excited for this one, because they're fun games.
To be fair,
but they're definitely not games for us, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're fun mini games.
Yeah.
On more hardcore games, Pokken Tournament, it's coming.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, and the reviews already came out, and it's doing good. It's sitting right now on a 76 on Metacritic. The critic reviews, and that's positive. That's good.
Yeah. I only read the IGN review, and I think they gave it an 8.6, an 8.6.
An
8.5, sorry. I think. Which is not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Yeah. And wow, GameSpot gave it a 9.
Wow.
GameSpot.
Which is generally one of the most critical and tougher to get high grades on, not grades, high scores on.
Yeah, IGN gave it an 80. IGN.
An 80? Okay.
An 80, yeah. Yeah, and GameSpot, it's a 9. Wow.
Yeah.
A 9. So yeah, it says Bandai Namco has crafted a fighting game that is deep and rewarding while also being accessible. Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you're hungry for fighting games and Street Fighter V left you a little disappointed, you can go to Pokken Tournament and have some fun there with Pokemon.
Cool. Yeah.
Very interesting. Coming to Wii U.
Yeah.
And
finally something to Wii U.
Yeah, finally, I know.
Right.
Republic, which is a very interesting game that you showed me actually not long back. Stealth, right? The stealth related game. Yeah. Looks cool. Looks very
With
cool.
The voice acting, the cast impressed me.
Yeah.
Impressed me. There's David Hayter on it, right? And
Yeah. Snakes, all the voice.
Kept you waiting, huh?
I know. He did, and he is now keeping you waiting on a new game, which is very interesting. And this one's coming to literally everywhere: PC, PS4, iOS, Android.
Not Xbox One.
Not Xbox.
Right?
Yeah, not Xbox.
Weird.
Yeah,
maybe
interesting.
Later.
But this is a very interesting game. Keep an eye out for it.
Yeah.
And finally, lastly, Trackmania Turbo, which is a very fun sort of racing game with weird, funny, goofy mechanics that's coming to PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Cool.
Yeah. What are we playing right now? What are you playing? Are you still playing The Witcher?
So I finally finished The Witcher.
Cool.
On the weekend.
Nice.
Man, wow, that game is totally worth it.
Yeah.
It's totally worth the, 100 hours I put in it. It's so good. Yeah. And now I'm still playing The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing the Hearts of Stone expansion, which was released in October last year. So I began playing that one on Sunday, and I'm still playing it. And it's very good. And keep in mind, I'm not the kind of guy that really plays and buys DLCs. I don't know. I'm not much of a DLC guy, but the game was so good that I wanted to keep playing it, and I heard good things about this expansion,
right.
and I bought the season pass for the Hearts of Stone expansion and the upcoming Blood and Wine expansion, and Hearts of Stone is very, very good. Yeah, definitely. As of now, one of the best DLCs I've ever played. Easily.
Wow.
It's very, very good.
that
Granted, I don't play much DLCs,
Right.
but it's very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Love it.
I could argue that the last DLC that I played that was that good to me was probably one of the Mass Effect DLCs. I think Mass Effect 2 with the collector's DLC. I think that was a good one.
The layer of
the Shadow Broker.
That one was so good.
Yeah,
yeah, that one and the Kasumi. I think the Kasumi mission.
Yeah.
That one was good, and Mario Kart DLC was awesome.
Oh, right.
Mario
yeah,
Kart.
and Smash DLC.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. What am I playing? I'm playing. I'm gonna start playing the expansion as well. I was waiting for you to finish the game to start playing. I finally finished Undertale, and I gotta say, I mean, at the beginning, my impressions of the game were good. Were solid. It was a good game.
Yep.
But I don't know how the game manages to keep getting better and better and better as you keep playing it. And at times, I mean, I always saw it as a goofy, very fun to play, very Earthbound-esque game. Very, aware of itself and it being an RPG and having all those quirky, funny dialogue lines and options. But then, no spoilers, right? But the game, it's better if you replay it, right? If you play it, that's why I took so long. I finished the game once and I realized that, you know what, I'm going to play the whole thing again in order to get a more complete experience. And I replayed it and they continue, the game doesn't, it's not a reiteration of the same thing. The game actually, changes. Yeah, exactly. And the second run, by the end, I was in shock in how much the game changed in terms of, it was not that goofy anymore. Now there was some very dark tones in there, very, very serious themes and thematics and things going on there that I was really impressed by. And I really fall in love with that game. And yeah, I finally finished it, and I'm eager to finally review it. And I want to have that for you guys coming soon. But yeah, if you haven't, buy that game. That's totally worth it. You're making yourself a disservice if you're not playing that game, or you haven't played that game.
Awesome.
Yeah. Amazing game. And that's what we're playing right now. And finally, that's it for this week's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show on YouTube or listening on iTunes or Enlacetec through TuneIn. Yeah. If you enjoyed your time with us, please like the video and subscribe on YouTube. Also, click that like button and leave us a comment if you so deem it appropriate. Give us your feedback. We really appreciate that. Share it with your friends if you like it, and we appreciate all of your support. Please keep it coming, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for sticking with us, and thank you for your comments. And if you really like our stuff, just hit that like button, subscribe, and all of that helps us a lot. You don't understand how much it really helps us. And a quick advice. We will be skipping the show next week. So we're in Mexico, right? So next week it's holiday week.
Semana Santa.
Yeah, it's a holiday week, and we'll be taking the week off because the studio where we record will not be available next week for holidays. So instead, we'll be trying to bring you some other stuff. To upload some other stuff, maybe some reviews content, and stuff next week. You'll be seeing some stuff popping up on our channel. But yeah, next week we'll be taking it off. And we'll be back with episode 9 in 2 weeks.
Right, exactly. That's the week of the 28th, right? That's
the 20-something.
On March the 30th, we'll be recording, and probably you'll get the episode on the first days of April.
Yeah, it's either Thursday 31st or April 1st. So a quick.
Just have it in mind. We'll try to get content your way.
Yeah.
So that you don't miss us.
Don't miss us. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
We'll be back.
You can always reach us on Twitter at _gaming frontier, and on Facebook as Gaming Frontier. The
at
URL.
Facebook.com. Facebook.com/Gaming Frontier Entertainment.
That's absolutely right. If you have any questions you like to answer, you like us to answer in the show, you can send an email to gamingfrontier.contact@gmail.com.
Right.
Head over to our channel on YouTube to watch more gaming content published regularly. We already have there a couple whys we love stuff, and we'll be bringing more of those in the coming week. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. So much. Again, like, subscribe, comment, and remember, always keep playing.
That's right, guys. Stay awesome. Bye.